Hello and welcome everyone. My name is, as you can see here, Mohammed Rahali. I am a student studying network and system administration in Morocco. For you who doesn't know, the country is located in north of Africa. So let me just check. Yeah, okay, the recording is going well. So a little bit about me. I'm currently studying, as I said, network and system administration. I'm studying an associate degree, which is like a 2-year degree here in my country, with the possibility, of course, to do a bachelor degree or more if you want. So, briefly, what do we study or what do I study? I'm in my second year, the last year. So, kind of, as you can see here in this section here about in my LinkedIn, we study how to configure, deploy, troubleshoot, and also maintain LAN and WAN infrastructures, as well wireless controllers, access points, and also how to manage firewalls. And for the system engineering or system administration, however you want to call it, we also study how to administer those networks using either, for example, Windows. Depends on the company. Some companies uses Windows or open source OS operating system, such as Linux. So there's a Linux server. So yeah, that's kind of enough about me. This is just my LinkedIn. If you guys wanted to check it out, don't have a lot yet in it, so I'm just a beginner. So I decided to kind of share my videos and share my learning path and the things I'm learning. I'm currently preparing for the CCNA, and also I have some knowledge in networking and a little bit in system administration. So I'm gonna try to share whatever I can, whatever the things I know how to do and the things I'm learning. So I'm gonna be sharing them with you in English. So English, of course, is not my first language or my mother tongue language, but I'm gonna do my best, and hopefully these videos will be helpful to other students that just started or other people that are interested. So in this video, we're gonna do some basic configuration now. Basic configuration of routers, switches, and other devices. So in order to do that, you need Cisco Packet Tracer, of course. Now, a lot of people, they go to download them from other sources or whatever, but the best way to download Cisco Packet Tracer is from this platform here, Netcat. As you can see over here, you just create your account if you don't have one, and you go to resources, download Packet Tracer. You click on it, you wait a little bit, and then you have this page, and you can download the latest version, which for now it's 8.0. You can download it in if you're whatever your operating system supports. So yeah, and there's other versions. There's a Linux version if you're using Linux, for Mac OS as well, and there's also a mobile version if you're using Android or whatever. And as well, you have the opportunity or whatever, if you wanna download also the previous versions. So you guys being the students or whatever you're interested about networking, I'm not gonna show you how to do that. I guess you already know how to do that, of course. So I'm just gonna open here. I already opened it. As you can see, here's the Cisco Packet Tracer. So I'm just gonna try to cover just the main thing that you're gonna need. Okay, as you can see here with my cursor, you have here in this section routers. So you have a lot of different type of routers, or a lot of series of routers. You have 4331 for 300 series or whatever. You have here the PT router, which the one we're going to be using a lot in the upcoming videos, and you have like up until the latest version that this kind of Cisco Packet Tracer supports, which is the 2800 series. So if you just went over here, and when you just hover the mouse over it, as you can see, it says what's this section? Switches, and you have a lot of choices. You have the 2900 series, you have a PT switch, which again, what are we going to use a lot? You have here some layer 3 switches and other components here that you don't need to know about, bridge and other things. So here we have hubs, and I'm not going to explain what every single thing does, because if you wanted to configure these things, you have to know what they do, because that's just, it doesn't make sense. Here, wireless devices, you know, home routers you can see here, and access points and things like that. And of course here we have like the security, those are firewalls, and here is the cloud, and you know, we're not going to need these things. So if we went over here, we have what we call end devices. Now end devices, like from the name, they are kind of in the end of the network, so they're not in the middle or whatever, they are in the end. So as you can see, of course, PC is in the end of the network. Whatever communication it happens or data transfer or whatever, PC is the last one to receive, or it's the one to send. But anyway, you got the point, I hope. So we have laptop. Just ignore this notification. Stupid. We have server as well. It's considered an end device. We have printer, IP phone, VoIP device, voice over IP device as well. IP phone is considered VoIP, or you know, TV, tablet, but we're not gonna need those. But anyway, hope you got like this is pretty much what is it. So here we're not gonna cover this. Here is one of the most important thing, cabling. Now you should have an idea what these cables are. Now here, as you can see here, when I just hover the mouse again, it has console. Now you use this cable if you want to, like in real life, that's what you're going to be using if you want to configure a switch or whatever. So you plug one end to the, I guess it has one end, an RG45 shape, and the other end, I don't remember the name of it, but you plug it to your computer, your PC, your laptop, whatever, and then you have access to that switch. That's how you physically manage, physically configure your network equipments. So this is the very common one, copper straight. You can call it also UTP cable. It has a lot of names. Well, not a lot, but some people call it different names. So that's what going to be used a lot. And then here we have copper crossover. That's what we use if you want to, for example, connect a router to another router, sometimes switch to another switch, and yeah. So this is serial. This also we use this one just for routers. So we connect, if you want to connect router to another router. This mainly simulate kind of a WAN connection. So if you have a router, for example, let's say in a state in the US, and you have another router in Belgium, for example, so in Europe, so it kind of simulates like a connection between one router and another. And a lot of times, you know, when you have this, like, it means it's a WAN connection, so it's a wide area network. So yeah, that's about it. So let's get into it. Let's actually start configuring. So we're gonna take a PT router. And for one of the reasons that we use PT router, because this one is equipped. So what does that mean? So as you can see here, this is the physical device view, and you have, you know, PT router, and that's you know, that's a card for this interface. So it already has these interfaces installed. For other routers, it's probably this one or this one. You have to manually install them. So you have, for example, to drag this one, or let's see, what's the name of it, NM1 SFE. Let's look for it. There's it, NM1 SFE. You have to click on it and manually put it like this. And we're not going to do that every single time, of course. So that's why we choose the PT router, because it comes you know, with the already equipped, if you understand what I mean. Well, interesting thing, one thing you should know, if you want to see briefly, you want to see the configuration of your network equipment or end devices as well. You in Packet Tracer, you just hover, just put the mouse, you don't click or anything, just hover the cursor or the mouse or whatever you want to call it, and you can see, you know, you can see like the port, the state of it, and the IP address. Of course, we haven't set anything, so you can just see the MAC addresses, because of course that's already like burned into the network card or whatever. So we're gonna Start. Yeah, so let's go. We click on it and we go. We have two ways how to configure network equipment. Here in Cisco Packet Tracer, we have the first option, config, and you can see, you know, you can configure interfaces from here, serial, whatever, even the routing. We're gonna get to that, of course. Static, rip. We're gonna see what those mean. Or we can go to the CLI, the command line interface. I believe that's what it stands for. So let me just exit, because of course when we went to the config and we start messing around here, as you can see, at the same time we give you the live show, if you want, of what's happening in the background in the CLI. But we are future network engineers or future network admins. We want to do everything with, you know, manually. We don't want to go to here those configs. So just gonna exit. Now we're gonna discuss modes. I know it's kind of boring, but you have to know this. These are the basic things in order for you to you know, start in the right way. You can't just go and jump and do like cool configs or whatever. Now here, briefly, this, when you see this sign here, router, you just like open your router. This is called the user mode. Now if you want to see what you can do in the user mode, you just type, just put this question mark. You see connect, disable, disconnect, enable, some very basic show, you know, very basic things. So yeah, you can basically do nothing. Now if you wanted to actually see the configuration, if you wanted to start doing useful thing on your router, you should go to what we call the privilege mode. Now again, as I said, this is called the user mode. Okay, you should remember that. Take a note if you're gonna forget it. In order to go to the privilege mode, we type enable. Now after that, you can see the symbol here changes. Now I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger, so I'm just gonna pause it for a sec. Okay, we just made the font a bit bigger, so hopefully it's clear. As I said, when you see this symbol, when you type enable and you go to this mode, it's called the privilege mode. So yeah, and if you want to see what you can do in this mode, you can just do the question mark again, and as you can see, a lot of things, of course. Clear clock, configure, connect, copy, debug, delete, a lot of this is for make directory. This is, anyway, you can see you can do a lot of things. Of course, you're gonna learn a bit by bit how to, you know, those commands. So now we covered this mode. Now if we wanted to go further and do configurations and things like that, we go to another mode. If we wanted to configure the router, if we wanted to modify the router, we actually type configure terminal. You know, and one thing that you guys should know, and it's very helpful, especially if you're a complete beginner, you don't have to type the entire command. You know, you press the button tab, the one that has GAB in it, and it completes it for you. So as I type conf, I don't have to like just type config, and it completes it for me, and it completes it for me. So I don't have to type configure terminal, all of it. Or I can just type what most network admins do, like conf t, and it will accept it, because, you know, it's not stupid, it understands. Now this, when you see this, it means that we are in the global configuration mode. So of course we covered the first one, if you remember, the user mode, the privilege mode, and the global configuration mode. And now if we type a question mark, of course we're going to see a lot of things again. Authentication, access list, banner. We're going to see what's the banner does. Access list, hopefully soon. Enable hostname, interface, IP, key, and we're going to check a lot of things. What do they do? Not in this video, of course. And we have also what I think is another mode, is a special configuration mode, I believe. I do not remember the name of it exactly, but you guys can look that up. and it's when you go into a specialized configuration mode. This is a global configuration mode. You can configure, you know, global thing, but not specialized thing. So for example, if I wanted to configure an interface, I believe this one is fast Ethernet, so you know, I can just type F, and you know, it will complete it for me. 0/0. Now this, when you see this is a specialized configuration mode. So yeah, so this is pretty much it, guys, about the modes, you know. And it goes the same for the switch, not just the router. Now of course we chose like to do this on a router, because a router, you know, it's a different than a switch, because it needs configuration. A switch you can buy, for example, a Cisco switch, and start it, just plug it in. You know, it does what it does, it learn the MAC addresses and it start like switching traffic, whatever. So, but no, a router, you know, even the interfaces are not active. You know, these ones that we saw here in the physical, you know, these are not active. You have to actually switch them on. I don't mean like press a button here, but no, from the command line interface you should switch them on. So that was it, guys. Just about like, I don't want to make the video too long. Just have an introduction about myself, about Cisco Packet Tracer, and how to kind of, you know, manage your way around it. In the next video, we're gonna start doing actual configuration. We're gonna configure it. Now you can see there is no IP addresses, there's nothing. We're gonna have, like, for example, multiple routers. We're gonna configure them, we're gonna configure switches and things like that. So thank you for tuning in. Yeah, this is, by the way, my first video here in YouTube, so hopefully you guys liked it. So yeah, take care and see you in the next video.